What's up, guys? It is Corey from SuperKamiGuru9000, and here it is, my review of Naruto Shippuden episode 309. The whole concept of an eating contest seems like it may work a little bit better within the universe of Toriko, and I'm not quite sure that the B story of this week's episode really fit in, and yes, most of it was a giant eating contest on the fact that Choji and Naruto and Shikamaru and his team are all there going off on this old side mission that has never been brought up before. But it's a shame because the beginning of the episode actually starts out pretty interesting. We actually are continuing with what's going on in the war right now, and Naruto walks upon this sort of lone samurai Edo Tensei character by the name of Tatewaki. And apparently at some point in the past, Naruto met this guy. We get to go back in time where Naruto was during the filler period after Sasuke has left the village, and we get to see that he is about to go on a secret mission, a kidnapping mission of sorts, to save this feudal lord from this other group of people. They don't really go into it too much, but Naruto seems to be pretty game with this considering it's going to be an A-rank mission. Probably the most interesting part of the episode, however, is all of a sudden we cut away to some Akatsuki members. You got Deidara and Sasori who are still bitching as usual. They can either go off to make money or they can go off to war. And Deidara and Sasori definitely want to go off to war, and that's what they do. And this pisses off Hidan because that's what he wants to do, but it makes sense. Kakuzu's all about money, so this is the mission that he would want. Now, it's pretty obvious that somehow they're going to interact with what's going on with our characters in the past right now. What is interesting, though, is in the preview, I can't quite tell if they're actually going to physically run into the Akatsuki members, or if they're just going to have to fight against these puppets and they'll never see them. And that would make a lot more sense, because technically Naruto had never seen them before, and it'd be strange, because when he ran up on that Deidara guy, he'd be like, hey, I remember you, but I don't know what happens in the next episode. But like I said, Naruto, Shikamaru, Ino, and Choji, they go off to this weird place, and they're getting ready to infiltrate it, and the plan is that they're going to enter Choji and Naruto into an eating contest. And I thought that was just going to be the, slow story that we wouldn't see too much, but no, it pretty much dominates most of this episode, and most of the time it's watching Naruto and Choji eat. And yes, Choji eats his ass off, and he's able to win second place, which is all part of the plan, and the entire time Naruto is there so he can switch places with the feudal lord and transform into him, and that's what happens. Now, there is another subplot they're trying to build up a little bit about how this young feudal lord doesn't really want to be there, and obviously he's kidnapped, but he's being trained by that weird samurai character who was introduced in the beginning of the episode, Tatewaki, and he is currently alive at this point, and I'm not quite sure what he's doing, why he's training him, because he technically is a kidnapped person, but I'm sure there's an ulterior motive behind this, and that's pretty much the bulk of the episode there. It's mostly just a big eating contest. Even Yamato is there. He's actually watching Shikamaru's scene the entire time from the shadows. He's like hanging out in the trees. He still has his Zanbu mask and everything, and it makes sense because Naruto never met him at this time either. I think if I had one positive thing to say about the episode, it's that the animation itself was pretty decent throughout most of the episode, and I really do like when they have callbacks to the original series when they reuse that old music. It's very, very nostalgic, and they use it in some pretty clever parts in this episode, but for the most part, this was a pretty boring episode of just watching Choji eat a lot, and that really dominated most of the episode. I would love to learn a little bit more about this Tatewaki character, or even see what's going on more with the Akatsuki guys and seeing what they have planned, but still, it's an okay one, and it looks like it's going to be either a 2 or 3-parter. So we'll see how this plays out. I think the story needs to open up a little bit more for me to accept this filler for what it is now. But this one was just okay, so I'm going to drop a 7 out of 10 on this episode. Not the best animation in the world, and the story wasn't really all that great. But for the most part, it gave me a few laughs and a few nostalgia moments that I really enjoyed. So I think that's what at least makes it worth checking out. So make sure and check that episode out, guys. And if you have seen it, how did you feel about it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? You can let me know in your comments below. And remember, guys, as always, if you like this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up. It really helps these videos out a lot. That concludes this review today. SuperKamiGuru9000. Out.